Hi, my name is Boemo Diale and I'm an artist and painter living in the city of Johannesburg, currently based in Melville, South Africa. Artist, mostly because it came quite naturally to me in terms of just self-expression. I was always doodling and painting as a kid, and I wasn't very encouraged by my parents or my family to go this route, so I didn't study it or anything. But I was making work mostly for myself, and now I'm working with the Kalashnikovv Gallery. So it's been a blessing and a very interesting turn of events in which I was never encouraged to go this route. So I never entirely saw myself becoming an artist. Only now that I've gained some confidence and making work as often as I do, I can see myself being an artist, and I consider myself an artist. And I think just in terms of my own emotional regulating and processing my own emotions, it's always been a very cathartic process for me to write about it or paint about it. So I think it's just always been my form of expression. I am currently studying at the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg, and I'm currently studying film and television, so I'm not doing art, but film is really aiding me in terms of creating stories and narratives, and I'm very happy that I'm studying film rather than doing art. I think in high school, when I was sort of deciding, I felt like, and this is going to sound a bit pretentious or snobby, but I felt like I really knew what I wanted to make. And I think I did need a bit of, I think sometimes I still feel like I need a bit of help with technique and such, but I think I really kind of knew the messages I was trying to make. I think I really was getting this kind of strange calling to a story that I didn't want to study it. I didn't want to kill it. And I'm very happy I didn't, because I think I can make prolific work and I can take my time to develop ideas, rather than working on ideas that aren't feeling like they're feeding me as much. Subjects that inspire me to make new work, I would say, are race and gender and spirituality and mental health. I think in my own upbringing and my own experiences, mental health has played a role, just like watching my mom with schizophrenia, and it's a very similar idea of duality and ambiguity, which are some of the other overarching themes that inspire me, and race and gender, being a black woman with a mental health problem, navigating society, contorting yourself to fit into binaries in which you're not naturally inclined to, that don't express an authentic self, which there comes in spirituality. And I think that's what inspires my work, my own experiences from things that I've observed and my experiences that I go through now, seeing duality on the day-to-day of my life, and looking at that and feeling inspired by that, and feeling like I need to communicate it because it affects me every day. The art community in Johannesburg, I would say, is quite small, but it's very close-knit. I would say it's very connected. I feel like everyone knows everyone, even if you don't know everyone. I think everyone has like a reliance on one another, so it's like the skateboarders know the videographers, and the videographers know the photographers, and the photographers know the fashion designers know the artists, and the artists know filmmakers. So it's like, I think everyone's feeding off of one another, which really makes this wonderful melting pot and like hub of just creative energy in the scene, and it's very exciting, and I feel very inspired by it on a regular basis. I think what makes my city interesting to make art in is duality, and I think that's exactly what my work is centered around, so that's my own sort of inspiration. But I think living in Johannesburg, there's so much duality. There's rich, there's poor, there's black, there's white, there's able, there's unable, there's educated, there's uneducated. So I think seeing like drastic, extreme dualities of just polar opposite ends, I think inspires me, It also scares me. It's also very frustrating, but it's also, I think, what my work communicates is that discomfort, the frustration, the contorting, the distorting, and that's essentially what inspires my work and essentially what I see on a day-to-day basis. I drive down to the shop and at the robot and there's someone begging and they're in a different position to me and it's a polar opposite, but it's in a lot of ways we're all existing in the same space, coexisting in the same space, and it's like that rubbing, everyone's sort of like rubbing up against each other and it's creating this energy, and I think that's what I try and communicate in my work, and that's what inspires me. As an artist, I would say, is to make work prolifically every day. I think if I could ever be in a situation where I had a real studio, a real workspace, and I didn't really have the stresses of day to day, like I am bartending and waitressing and doing other like side hustles to keep it going. So I think if I could make work prolifically every day and I could make this my life, that would be my dream. Secondly, to see my work on an international scale, to see my work in international galleries in Nigeria, in Berlin, in Paris, in Brazil, in Barcelona, to see my work hung up and to see all kinds of different people relating to it. I think that's my like ultimate dream. As well as to grow. I think to get to a point where I've really stretched and grown my narrative and my story, and so my work becomes more impactful. And that, whether that be the story, whether that be just my technique and how I'm applying my materials to its surface. I think if I get to a point where I'm making really powerful, I feel like I'm making great work, but I feel like if I get to a stage where I've experienced enough that I'm making really powerful work. And I think that only takes time, but I think if I could get to that stage where I'm in the studio making powerful work and I'm exhibiting on an international scale, that'd be my dream.